Hello there again. Welcome to my channel. Again, this is a tech-based channel, and today I'm talking about Huawei. Um, Basically, the world is more or less a polar, a polar world, a dual polar world, which means that you no longer have America as the main power, but you also have America and China, which are the main powers now competing for supremacy. As earlier explained, this only ends one way. It ends with one power establishing itself as the dominant power, as it's always been for the last 500 years. It looks like America is going down. It looks like China is going up. We don't know. But when this ends, it's not going to be a fast war. It's going to be a war of attrition. And this might take a decade or maybe more. The last Cold War took 50 years, but this might take a decade. Obviously, with the advent of AI and quantum computers, that means that things would accelerate a lot faster. But China has made another move, obviously, with Huawei, which is more or less a cybersecurity powerhouse, rivaling other major players like HP, Nortel, Johnny Person, rivaling them. And right now, Huawei has obviously, with the banning of the rare earth minerals from last week or 2 weeks ago, the video I mentioned, Huawei has taken upon itself to go ahead and use the supply of the rare earth minerals for its own AI processing data centers, which means that Huawei is positioning itself like an Nnvidia to the Chinese or to the East, which kind of shows us how the cybersecurity war is going to be fought. And prior to this, I also mentioned that Huawei had a couple of contracts cancelled, specifically in the USA and in the UK. I think they were bidding for particular data centers and government contracts, and that was cancelled 2 years ago to avoid Chinese control of sensitive information. So the war, as I explained, is more or less a tech war, and yeah, the Huawei deal basically puts them toe to toe against Nnvidia, and we would see a rapid rise in the capitalization of Huawei, but we would also see a drop in the sales of Huawei, or almost the banning of Huawei sales in in Europe and also the USA and their trading partners. Also, I mentioned in another video that China cancelled, I think, over 8,000 Boeing aeroplanes, commercial jets they ordered from America. Obviously, that would cause unemployment. In addition to Intel, which is part of the Huawei group, part of the Huawei industry, Intel has announced a projected loss in employees, a 20% drop in employees in the year 2025. So that means that as a result of China's blockage of the sales of rare earth materials to the USA. That has caused Intel, which is a cybersecurity company, to lose 20% of its staff. And that obviously would transfer the demand of these products to China. So it's heating up. It's a tech war. Who's gonna win? We don't know, but it looks more likely to be China. But it's just my projection. I hope I'm wrong, but that's what it looks like at the moment. So if you have any questions to ask me about what's happening in the tech world and where the economy is going, feel free to ask me. But presently, I feel like, but the world economy is controlled out, I want to say 40% by tech and the rest by other industries. So tech has a major role to play in the current changing of the guards. And that's why there's a lot of movement and a lot of volatility in the tech industry. But feel free to ask me any questions. I'm happy to answer them. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much.